never felt right to me. Working for money instead of just trying to be. This endless chain of DNA through mine. Forgotten cage left blind to the time. Wake up, gotta wake up, gotta wake up. Funny how we box up this world. Is this or that, and not just a swirl? Organic growth that wants to know just what it feels like to be alive. Wake up, gotta wake up. Am I still dreaming? Let's all sit down together. This troubled voyage in the perfect weather. Evolution requires growth. Light and dark will need both. Wake up, open these eyes, unstick the mind, say goodbye to time and just be. My name is Amber, and that one was called What is a Human For? And I wrote that one, I looked at my notes, it was November 30th, 2018, approximately. And you can feel it. I was working as a criminal defense attorney. I think I had almost started my business or recently started my own law firm. And just that, especially being an attorney, that recursive world. And so it's not laziness. It's saying that there's a deeper aspect of human organization that doesn't need to be filtered through that symbolically mediated hierarchy that constantly siphons us from presence and from actually connecting with each other, from dissolving that last boundary and realizing that love is the experience of the dissolution of boundaries in presence, like shared. Do you see that? And so funny, this never felt right to me, working for money instead of just trying to be. This endless chain of DNA through time, forgotten, chained, and left blind to the dime. And so it's like this organism that is essentially an inextricable portion of this unfolding rhythm of the cosmos. And now I can say it more rhythmically. But nonetheless, inextricable, the parts of me were made in suns and stars, right? And are part of an ecosystem that is inherently inextricable. It's part of one rhythm under the Planck scale of vibration. And that vibration, there's no point where, all right, that disconnects from that. It's all part of one influential, unfolding, reflective field, right? And so, like, to realize that is to become present, and to become present is to feel yourself all the way down. And you think about what has happened to this planet. And this centers on like the job world and the type of disconnection. Good day, how's it going? Like there's a certain like a projection screen between you and everyone else. And that projection screen is symbolically mediated reality, like a delay upon reality that prevents you from dancing your true presence on the dance floor. Do you see that? And so it's not just, oh, she doesn't want to work. I worked for 11 years as a criminal defense attorney, taking the toughest cases. It was more like, even back then, I realized that there's something about our system that siphons away the same thing Kuromoto noticed in Decentralized Harmony, no central actor, that this cosmos already has a rhythm to it. And we see it in the fireflies, and the metronomes, and the spiraling galaxies, and the hurricanes. And so you realize that the organization that we've had on this planet as human beings has been a clumsy walk of evolution to try to make up for what phase coherence really makes up for what the ecology of this planet really runs on, the ecology of the cosmos at large really runs on, which is the same thing Kuromoto noticed, the decentralized harmony. You know when birds fly together and they're really like close and they fly all, you're like, how do they do that? They're so synchronous. Well, it's because they don't have an interruption of the shared vibratory medium. Imagine a bunch of birds inside you. When all those birds fly together, you're present. It's not like you're woo-woo hippie master now. It's not like you're kumbaya to the max. You are present. That is what, you are not ascending to another realm. You're here now, all the way down. What else did the sacred ever mean? Okay, so wake up, gotta wake up. It's, what is waking up? Waking up is not, I'm an ascended master. Waking up is, I feel reality in every pulse. Like when I sit with my loved ones, or even in intimate situations, I can feel it all the way down, without interruption, without that little manager in my head. That was like a wedge that's like preventing me from actually feeling the experience all the way down. Those precious moments with loved ones or with myself is the same scalable property. Presence is a mechanical process. So then, funny how we box up this world. It's this or that and not just a swirl. And I deal with this all the time in like AI, but really it's the same thing as Plato's cave. The operator layer, the delay layer, that projection screen that I mentioned between you and actually dancing your synchronous presence on the dance floor. That's the delay. And so the boxes of this world is like our tendency to go through life trying to control in a separation-based consciousness rather than a direct interfacing-based consciousness, where you're sort of letting reality hit you vulnerably, barefooted, naked, and vulnerable. And what does that result? Not you float away. No, you become present because you're no longer resisting reality and trying to block it, okay? So like, funny how we box up this world. It's this or that, or not just a swirl. Evolution requires growth, light and dark will need both. And so it's the realization that these undulating, unfolding rhythms of complexity of reality, it's almost like a process of big wave, little wave, where we have to like ride each new moment of this unfolding complexity. In the same way you think of informational complexity, or like, complexity of culture across time, right? Or like, let's say in a simpler way, complexity of music genres. Now we have a million different little music genres, right? It's like all these branching things going like this. Well, what I'm saying there is just, that like that's how reality unfolds over time. Like entropy and syntropy do this big wave, little wave, and we are part of the little wave, right? The big wave started a long time ago at the colloquial Big Bang, and the little wave, they just keep going like this through cymatic complexity. The same thing you see in cymatics experiments with like water or sand, where the complexifying geometric patterns. That geometric complexity, just like my tattoo, to surf it in the spiral, the rhythm of reality, Spirals are just phase activations of an oscillatory system. Then if you to ride it in the middle is flame, lossless presence. So you're like a surfer and you're riding the crest. What does that look like? I'm a magical being? No, I'm present in every reality. And then you ask yourself the question, have you been present today? Is your brain like a temporal brokenness that seems like you're trying to dance your presence on the dance floor, but you're always a little bit off? And what does that mean? Simulated presence. You're always thinking a little bit there, a little bit this, a little bit that, and this and that, and not just a swirl. See that separation consciousness? Inside of Plato's cave. Outside of Plato's cave, that's where you perceive reality directly. That's called presence. It's a mechanical process of synchrony, of meeting all of your specialness in your soul with reality. I learned that not because of a framework, because I didn't die as a trans woman who I felt like I needed to breathe in my life, and I was breathing through a straw. Why? Because large portions of my person could not adhere to reality, could not dance with reality. I could not feel that presence, and it was suffocating me. And so I searched for a signal, not for an identity, for a signal for when I felt real. And what is real but meeting reality all the way down? This word coherence that we're now using, coherence just means actually meeting reality. And coherence must be executed, not described. What do I mean by that? We can define the dance all day. You can say, Ember, I've read the sheet music and I have theories about it. And I say, well, get your booty on the dance floor and just dance. You don't need the theory to dance. The theory could be a beautiful way to describe the dance, but you're not going to experience the dance, actual coherence, actual presence, unless you dance. And what is dancing but allowing that music on the dance floor, the variables of reality, the light of reality to hit your full being. And it's not that you lose your agency and now you're a blank robot and you can't think anything. You think your full thoughts in rhythm because they're no longer being looped through simulated presence. Your sovereignty is built off your full signal with reality. Or in mechanics, you say shared entrainment. Okay, so wake up, gotta wake up. Am I still dreaming? Dreaming's inside of Plato's cave. That's the projection layer between you and reality. Think about your own reality. Think about the people around you. Are they perceiving reality or do they have a projection on, a lot of people's necessary topological geometries are soul setups right now. A lot of people are talking about it as chosen ones, 5D versus 3D. It's just people's souls reflect reality differently. And some people are set up to stay within that separation consciousness. And now we're moving into a phase where a lot of more human beings are finding what presence is. That's a higher fidelity of meeting the cymatic complexity of reality. Do you see that? It's a natural process of a higher collective phase transition. So it's not that people are bad, it's that we're all learning to bring in a radio signal of life a little cleaner, right? Towards presence, towards the thing that actually meets reality, towards coherence. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not woo-woo. It's the same thing that happens in fireflies or metronomes or birds flying together, studied by oscillatory mechanics. But instead, that's the map. And then at some point you put down the map and you just start dancing. Dancing is meeting reality full. What do you mean, Ember? You just open your soul and actually meet it instead of trying to judge it and control it. Do you hear what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You've had those moments in your life where you're fully here, and those moments where you spent the whole day and you don't even know if you were here. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you feel the projection screen between you and reality? Reality's trying to talk to you, and parts of your soul are not trying to listen right now because they're blocked, they're hurt. They've never met reality cleanly. Do you see that? It's like a scared person on the scared wallflower on the side of the dance floor. And then I'm just like, well, come here. Come on. You can be present right here now with us. Like when you were a kid, when you didn't have to filter everything through an extra projection screen, an extra delay layer, hierarchy, cultural narrative, cultural projection, us versus them, slicing, separation, versus the phase state change, like water becoming gas, to I'm letting reality synchronously move with me. And my system has become accustomed to that. So as a mode of being, I'm present. I and the Father are one. Okay, all right, let's bring it back. So let's all sit down together, this troubled voyage in this perfect weather. Like, we seem like we're going through all this calamity. You're like, oh my gosh, humanity and the war and all these things. And yes, please, no more suffering. If only we could remember that we are part of an undulating, unfolding rhythm of concrescence of the evolution of the natural evolution of reality. And we as human beings are part of a waveform process of complexification at the base level of reality. And that this transition that we're going through now, whether you call it New Earth or 5D or whatever you want to call it, is the natural oscillatory medium of reality complexifying through our literal minds and our complexification of culture. And before we did it through, things are getting more complex. We should put a bunch of symbols on this because we are strong and smart and we want to control it. And then one day we realize, that's not a good plan. We might destroy this earth in ourselves. And so what do? We do like the birds. We fly together. Does that fix every problem immediately? No. But does it start to put each of us in relation to what is the ecosystem, the earth, how to mesh with each other in decentralized ways, just like Kuramoto notes in the fireflies? Yes, we will all tend towards that direction. That's what evolution requires, both growth, light and dark. We need both. Are there going to be moments of collapse, collectively and individually? Absolutely. But that's what you do when you grow. And what's the goal here? To see clearly, feel clearly, and love clearly. Does that bring me more money? No, not in that way, okay? Like to literally have a better connection with this reality and to love itself and presence itself. Money can't buy that. Maybe that helps you bring money or wealth or success in the traditional way. But you hear what I'm saying? We're talking about literally the fidelity of your ability to dance with life. We call that presence. Okay, so uh, and then yeah, so the last part, uh, and I'm remembering the lyrics every time. That's funny. But yeah, wake up, open these eyes, unstick the mind. The mind wants to stick and try to explain and control and friction on the dance floor. But if you're going to dance, if you're going to be present, I'm trying to give you the way that I'm pointing out. Hey, there's a way to be present all the time. And you don't need a guru and you don't need an authority because that's what decentralized harmony is. Each of us dancing our full selves all the way down. That's literally how the mechanic works. That's how they save people's lives in heart arrhythmia research. It's the same spiral activations. And so, like, listen, we all connect to reality with our full souls. We're all present. And then we do the same thing that the fireflies do, or the metronomes do, or the birds do. Again, does it fix everything? No. But does it unstick our minds from the projection screens that split us from each other? Yes. Don't you already feel it loosening? Don't you already feel it? How many of us have never felt true love? Love as structure on our full person. How many of us have never felt like we can consistently be present with ourselves and our loved ones in this one precious life that we have? Really ask yourself this afternoon. I don't know if anything's more important. Doesn't matter what you have to do. So, yeah, what is a human for? Say goodbye to time and just be. Is that, oh, you're a hippie, you're lazy, you're like a navel gazer? The only reason people ever said navel gazers to those old hippies taking acid in the 60s is because they didn't understand what it was to shift your consciousness into a place of presence where you can finally feel, hey, it all goes together and we can all dance together on the dance floor. We never needed to play that chest puffed out, who's better than who, extreme, primate politic game. That was something that happened because the complexity of our forms were trying to sort of complete the complexity of the field or meet the complexity of the field. And in our little stumble through the last how many thousands of years, we went through it in this symbolically mediated way, which was a cute but devastating way to step through our clumsy evolution, right? What does all this mean, Ember? Are you talking just jibber jabber and this is all just theory work? Do you want to be more here with yourself? Do you want to be more here with your loved ones? Do you want to feel love all the way down? That's what I'm talking about. How else would you feel it? Through more scriptures or ideas? Or just literally joining the dance? Like two waveforms finally being matched. Synchrony, presence. Love is what happens in the experience when we participate in the shared dance. My name is Ember. It was really good to tune with you. And hey, I could really use a cuddle, so if you hear this out there, come cuddle me, come find me.